Welcome back, you beautiful bastards. We are tackling Dark Fae with no legendary champions, and we're going to use Horden to kill our team. Easy to do right now. It's going to be the exact same thing when I get up to 120 with the Dark Fae. Just means I'm going to have to match her speed. She's at 210 speed right now. I'm going to have to get to 250 speed, and then I'm going to make sure that my Horden or my Herndig, which is probably what I'll use, can take down my team. But to take down my team, I just have to make them weak, but not too weak that they die going through the waves, but weak enough that when we zone into the boss and she copies my team, that we can go over there and just keep taking them down. Kill them, take an additional turn, kill them, take an additional turn. That's what Horden does, and he's the right affinity to take advantage of killing all this spirit. Well, the first run you're going to see, we're not using a Cold Heart. We're going to use 2 Armigers, which is a much safer run, I think, than having this Cold Heart in here. 2 Armigers with their skills locked out to where they're only doing their A1, turn meter reduction. We have the same thing with Allure, turn meter reduction. And then Sylar, on my account, was already gutted. She didn't really have any good gear, so I put some additional gear on her to make her weak, but still get the job done. That way Horden would have an easy time killing her. I would rather have Vizix there in place of Sylar, but my Vizix is too strong and too fast, and I would have to go change a lot of gear on her, and I really don't want to do that. My Sylar had only a stun set on her, so I put these 2 pieces, and I removed the defense over here, and I removed her ring. But the pieces I put on were just for speed. That's all I wanted. Speed will take the additional accuracy. I wanted the 210 speed to be over the boss, to match the boss and stay with the boss. I took off the rings to make sure that we could do damage and kill her. I did the same thing with Armiger. It's not necessary that you gut your champions this much. I just wanted to make sure that my Horden could kill them. When Horden attacks them, he pretty much kills them in 1 hit. He gets 2 hits on that A1, so you'll see that we didn't have to go to this extreme, but better to be safe than sorry. Here's the run with the 2 Armigers. Horden actually doesn't have enough speed to go first. He went 3rd or so on this run, and he's going to get more speed by getting kills. There's not a lot of other damage on this team. Really, there's not at all. So he's going to get kills. He's going to get enough kills from that assault mastery to increase his speed enough that he'll go first when we enter the battle with the boss. And that's what we want. That's what this boss is really all about. If you're going to do turn meter reduction, you want to make sure that when you go in, you have your turn priority correct, to make sure that you have your people going in the right turn, that you can take down all your mirrored allies fast and without them messing you up. So if you have Scylla the Drakes going first and she does AoE stun but doesn't get everyone on the AoE stun, well, their Scylla the Drakes is then going to do an AoE stun and it's going to really rock you. You're probably not going to be able to get past it and you're going to die. So that's the biggest thing, is the setup when you zone into this boss and whether you're ready to go. And if there are a lot of AoE A1 champions in the game, and actually Skartorsis hits insanely hard multiplier on his A1, we could bring in somebody like that to do an AoE and blow everyone up. It just depends on how weak you make your allies. See, he killed him in 1 hit there, took 2 hits on that one, 2 hits on that, but if we went back and looked at the HP, because it's 1 for 1, whatever we bring in, that's what they are when they get copied over there. Whatever their HP is, whatever their defense is. See, we were too slow from stopping her to do this, but it's easy to take care of that mirrored copy, because Horden doesn't have a lot of HP, doesn't have a lot of defense. Obviously, he is jacked up with a whole bunch of attack, crit rate, and critical damage. And I don't have Helm Smasher on him. I've got him set up with additional critical damage because I want it to be consistent. But he can take all these out very easy. This is full auto, mind you. Full auto for whenever I want to fight the Fae. I just come in here, I click go, and we're good. If you're waiting for somebody to hit really hard on their big AoE, unfortunately, we don't know if their AoE is going to be ready to go when we zone into this boss, so it might mess you up. But with champions like this that will kill on their A1 and keep killing, I feel like it's easier to do this. And then we've got all this turn meter reduction. We've got a slow speed. Again, you can see where I'd rather have Vizix in here for her A1 turn meter reduction for those 2 hits, and then her A2 to do a slow speed. But Sylar is great as well. And it worked out much better for me because Sylar is easier to take down, and I didn't have to go and make my Vizix super weak to be able to do this. So she will get a few turns. She's actually extremely fast. We're not doing 100% turn meter reduction because of the boss's mechanics. We're only doing 50%. We do have Relentless on our Allure. She's at 211 speed. I believe we have Relentless on one Armiger, and I had to do that. Since we're not doing much turn meter reduction, but we are taking a crazy amount of turns, I put Relentless on those two. When I ran it without, we just couldn't keep up. It wasn't working. But it's going to be the same thing at floor 120 when she's at 250 speed. I just have to match that 250 speed. That means I have to make my Horden 251 speed, all the rest of these 251 speed, and then I have to make sure that my Horden can kill everyone, which by then I'm probably going to use Herndig and lock out all of Herndig's ability and use his A1 to kill and keep killing because he has higher multipliers and should hit harder, but Horden does buff himself with that attack and increase crit. But you want to be at 100% chance to crit because you got to take down everyone when you zone in. There are different ways to fight this boss with pull-in champions. We could take out one of these Armigers and put in a pull-in champion, an epic pull-in champion, or a legendary if you have one. Krilo Witch Arm is amazing for this if you have her. And then we could pull in our Allure at times, and we pull in the other Armiger. That'd be good. If it's a 3-turn pull-in, it's going to work really well. That's what we need. Because when I bring Coldheart into this, and I take out one of these Armigers, I don't feel like it's as safe. It doesn't feel as safe at all waiting those 4 turns. And then if Coldheart does get an unlucky resistance, that's a whole 4 turns we've got to wait for her to come back, when Armiger just can be resisted on his A1 whenever. If it happens, it happens. We've got plenty of accuracy, but we can always be resisted at a 3% chance. And I'd prefer it not to happen on a big hit like Coldheart, and then she gets to take a turn, which she creeps up all the time because I feel like Relentless isn't going off as much as I would like it. But you can see with so many turns that we're taking, eventually Relentless is going to kick in and we're going to be able to drop her down and be okay. But we do take hits. And if you take a few hits from her, it's fine. She doesn't really do that much damage right now. Maybe at 120 she's going to do some more damage, but I'm sure I'll be able to fine-tune this to where she won't be able to take a turn at all. And we can come in here with these type of champions. Septimus is amazing, as you know, to take down someone, take an additional turn. We have Drake. You just have to be mindful. There, she took a turn. You just have to be mindful of their affinity and then what we're taking. We do have Relic Keeper as well. Relic Keeper will do just like Horden's doing, but he's force affinity. And with 2 Armigers in here, I can't afford to bring Relic Keeper because he'll weak hit on one of these Armigers, and then you're done. We're going to die. If we can't come in and kill everyone right away, we're going to die. So we just have to be sure about the affinity we're using. And if I brought Septimus in right now, he might not kill the Allure. I'm sure I can make my Septimus strong enough, and my Allure is very weak, that even a Septimus weak hit, he would kill her. That's all you would need to make sure happens, and then you could still use that. We're almost done with this run. We're going to go into another fast one with Coldheart. We're not going to watch the whole entire run, but there we go. Horden, Armiger, Allure, and a Sylar. This is with a Coldheart instead of that Armiger. Let's jump forward a little bit. And we got hit quite a few times. There's the Relentless on the Allure. We do have Relentless still on one of our Armigers. If I put Relentless on my other Armiger, I would feel better about never letting the boss take a turn. Like I said, if it takes a few turns, and it does, it takes 2 or 3 turns in each of these fights, but it's still not a bad thing. It's not like she's killing us, and we still get to keep her turn meter down. And sometimes when she takes that additional turn, or at least 1 turn, it resets her turn meter to keep it really low, and then we can really keep her down. So if she even takes 1, it's okay. Reset that turn meter to where she's very low, and then we just keep her low the whole entire time. But you need that slow speed. You've got to have somebody with a 30% slow speed reduction. You just have to. You're not fast enough to keep it down. It's the same thing when we fought the Scarab King. You need that slow speed to make it really work, unless you're going to bring in an additional Allure. I do have 2 level 60 Allures. I just think it's easier to make 2 Armigers, and then maybe you have a Coldheart and an Armiger at 60, and you want to go this route with it. And I couldn't make... Remember the speeds here. You can't make them... I had to make Horden the fastest. I can't have the Allure coming in and going first, and then their Allure would go first and cause us issues. I had to have my Horden come in here and do the most damage right away before anybody else went. Horden's at 201 speed, but we do have the Assault Mastery to get him additional speed when he gets kills, and he'll always go first then because none of these other guys are getting a lot of kills on the waves there. So he's going to go first when we get to the boss, even at this 201 speed. Then we have Armiger at 214. Remember, the boss is at 210. We're locking out his A2. We're locking out her A2, her A3. She's at 213. Sylar's at 216. And then our Armiger here is at 217. And we have one Armiger in the Alert and Relentless. And it's full auto, easy times. You just hit play and you're done. I hope this helped you out. Let me know if you have some other ideas for the Dark Fae down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Appreciate your time. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I will see you all in a video soon.